Hello students, welcome to Sri classes. Today we'll solve some numericals on volume of combination of solids. In our last class we studied and also solved the numericals based on surface areas, that is the total surface areas of combinations of solids. In this section we are going to study the volume of the combination of the solids. For which you have to remember all the formulae. Without formulae it is very difficult to solve. Besides that, as I said, certain tables such as 11, 12, 13, 14, then 16, 17, 19, if you can by heart those tables, probably you would be able to save a lot of time, especially for solving numericals on 3 chapters. That is anyway this chapter, that is surface areas and volumes. Besides that, circles and areas related to circles, that will help you a lot. Okay, of course in statistics also it helps a lot if you know the tables very well. So in volumes of in the numericals of volume of combination of solids, there are a few example sums and exercise. You have to go through yourself through the example numericals which have been solved very clearly. Explanation is quite clear in textbook. So with respect to example numericals, आप solve करिए. Okay, I will be taking up directly the exercise. I think exercise number 13.2 I will be taking. Okay, but let us go through very quickly what are these example sums and then we'll see. So what is that we are going to study? Combination, volume of combination of solids. Here you can see example number 5. This is a shape given. Probably you may have to find out the volume of the required volume over here. Okay, just make a note of this. Just read yourself for 1 minute. Probably you must have gone through and simple, just see. And there are some workers and all, the volume of which is given, that is there are 20 workers, each of whom occupy about 0.08 cubic meters of space. And if you want to calculate the total volume occupied by the all 20 workers, then 28 to 0.08 cubic meter. So go through this one. If any difficulty you can discuss with me on live session. Nowadays I will be conducting a lot of live sessions also in future also, because almost we have completed the portions, and during the live sessions all the doubts also can be addressed. Okay, so this is example number 5. Then example number you have 6, something like a juice seller. Very important, here there is a depression. A juice seller was serving his customers using glasses shown in 13.3. Inner diameter of the cylindrical glass was 5 cm, but the bottom of the glass had a hemispherical raised portion which reduced the capacity of the glass. If the height of a glass was 10 cm, find the apparent capacity of the glass and actual capacity of the glass. What is that apparent capacity you look for? Apparent capacity is nothing but, you will be taking the volume of this entire glass, isn't it? That is the apparent capacity. It appears to be this glass is entirely full. So you will be taking the volume of this only cylindrical portion, which is going to be an apparent capacity. But what is the actual capacity? You have to subtract the hemispherical portion also in the total volume of the cylinder. That is called the actual capacity. So let us see here. Since the inner diameter of the glass is 5 cm and height is 10 cm, the apparent capacity of the glass is pi r square h. What is that apparent capacity? It is a false capacity, apparent capacity, which appears to be so. So that is nothing but the volume of the cylindrical portion. You got it? But actually we have to subtract this bottom hemispherical volume in the volume of the cylinder. That will give you the actual capacity. Quite simple problem. Go through that one. And here a solid toy is in the form of a hemisphere surmounted by a circular cone. Surmounted or mounted or both are same. So surmounted by a solid toy is in the form of a hemisphere and surmounted by a circular cone. Bottom hemisphere and top it is mounted by a cone. The height of the cone is 2 cm. Diameter of the base is given. Determine the volume of the toy. If a right circular cylinder circumscribes the toy, find the difference of the volumes of the cylinder and the toy. See, this is a cylinder over here which circumscribes this toy. In that case, you need to find the difference in the volumes of the cylinder and the toy. Anyway, you are going to find out the volume of the toy, but for this cylinder, the radius will be the same as that of the hemisphere or the cone. So, and height is the total height. कहाँ से कहाँ तक? PA. For a cylinder portion I am talking about, the radius is same as that of the hemisphere, whereas the height is from here to here PA. That is the radius of the hemisphere plus this AO. Have they given? What is that they have given? Height of the cone is given 2 centimeter AO, and what else is AO? Diameter of the base. Diameter of the base is 4 centimeter of the cone, which is also the hemisphere. From here to here 2. Therefore, from here to here also 2. AO is given as 2. So, from here to here 4 centimeter. For cylinder, radius 2 centimeter, height 4 centimeter. Find out the volume, and also you can find out the volume of this toy. The difference in volume is volume of the cylinder minus volume of the toy. Please work out yourself. Okay. Next. Yes, students, we'll start solving exercise 13.2 to 25%. I hope things are pretty clear in the camera. Now, a solid is in the shape of a cone. A solid is in the shape of a cone standing on a hemisphere. There is a cone which stands on the hemisphere, or a hemisphere surmounted by a cone. Both are same. Bottom hemisphere, top cone, with both their radii being equal to 1 centimeter, and height of the cone is also equal to its radius, that is 1 centimeter. Find the volume of the solid in terms of pi. Let us solve this problem on the board. Now, exercise 13.2, volume of combination of solids. Question number 1, bottom you have a hemisphere here, and it is surmounted by a cone. Radius of the hemisphere and base of the cone both are same. Also, height is equal to radius. So, for conical portion, radius is 1 centimeter, height is 1 centimeter for the conical portion. For hemisphere, radius is 1 centimeter. What is the volume of the solid here? Volume of the solid is volume of this hemisphere plus volume of cone. We can write V also. Probably I can write volume of hemisphere plus volume of cone. If you add this, you will get it. So, volume of the entire solid is volume of the cone plus volume of the hemisphere. And what is the formula? Formula to aana chahiye. You must remember all this formula. You cannot say that I don't remember. What is the volume of the cone? 1/3 the volume of the cylinder of same radius. 1/3 pi r square h. Volume of the hemisphere 2/3 pi r cube. Why volume of the hemisphere is 2/3? Volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. Hemisphere is half of that one, hence 2/3 pi r cube. And substitute the value of r is 1, h is 1, and r is 1. So, what you get here? 1/3 pi plus 2/3 pi. Take LCM 3, 1 pi plus 2 pi, which gives you 3 pi, 3 pi by 3. 3 cancels, pi cubic centimeter. One thing is important. If you do not write the units of measurements, probably you may lose 1 mark, or at least half marks will be deducted if the units of measurements are not written. So, this is simple. Make a note of this. Question number 2. Rachel, an engineering student, was asked to make a model shaped like a cylinder with the 2 cones attached to its 2 ends. There is one cylinder, and on either side the 2 cones are attached to the cylinder, and that is the model. And Rachel is an engineering student. He has been asked to make that model. So, by using a thin aluminum sheet, so the entire model was made up of a very thin aluminum sheet. The diameter of the model is 3 centimeter and its length is 12 centimeter. See, remember, the length is 12 centimeter means it is the entire length of the model. You understand? That is including the conical portions and the cylinder portion. The entire length is 12 centimeter. If each cone has a length of 2 centimeter, find the volume of the air contained in the model that Rachel made. assume the outer and inner dimensions of the model to be nearly same, meaning those are made up of thin sheets. So what is the question? The volume of air contained in the model is equal to the volume of the model itself directly, isn't it? Because those are made up of thin sheets. So let us solve this on the board. Here the diagram goes like this. Cylindrical, this is a model cylinder with two conical ends. Diameter of the model is 3 centimeter, and the two cones which have been attached to the model, the total length of the model is from here to here, that is 12 centimeter. Height of the cone is given to us, that is h2. Here I have written height of the cone is given to us as 2 centimeter. So we can calculate the height of the cylinder also. Okay, so given information, total 12 centimeter and diameter is 3 centimeter, so radius is 3 by 2, which is same for cone as well as radius for cylinder, and height of the cone 2 centimeter. So for cone, radius is 3 by 2, height 2 centimeter. For cylinder, radius is 3 by 2. What about height here? This height, how do you calculate? Total height minus the height of each of the cones, that is 12 centimeter minus 2 plus 2, that is 4 centimeter, gives you 8 centimeter as the height of the cone. Is it clear? Now, so for cylinder, radius is 3 by 2 centimeter and height is 8 centimeter, h1. As heights of cones and cylinder are different, I am using h1 and h2 over here. h1 height of the cylinder 8 centimeter. For cone, radius is 3 by 2 centimeter and h2 2 centimeter. Now, volume of air contained in the model is equal to the volume of the model, which is 2 times the volumes of conical ends which are attached. So 2 times volume of the cone plus volume of the central cylindrical portion, that is volume of the cylinder. So 2 times 1/3 pi r square h2 is the volume of the cone, and cylinder pi r square h1. Substitute the values here. This is 2 by 3, pi I have taken as 22 by 7, r is 3 by 2 centimeter, so 3 by 2 into 3 by 2, which is r square, and h2 is 2 centimeter. And in this case, pi 22 by 7, r is 3 by 2, r square is 3 by 2 into 3 by 2, h1 is 8. So here you can see 2 ones are 2 fours are, again 2 ones are 2 twos are. So 22 into 3 into 3 into 2 by 7 is this part, and here what is that where cancellation, this 2 and this 2, this 2 and this 2. Also 3 is getting cancelled here. So left is 22 into 7 by 2, which is 66 by 7, plus if you multiply all this and keep it here, 396 by 7, so 462 by 7, which gives us 66 cubic centimeter. That is, the air contained in this model is 66 cubic centimeter. And remember, we are neglecting the volume of the sheets, we are neglecting the thickness here. That means it is very thin sheet. It is made up, the model is made up of a very thin sheet. So volume of the air contained is equal to volume of the model. Hope this is clear. Make a note of this. Question number 3. A gulab jamun contains a sugar syrup up to about 30% of its volume. Find approximately how much syrup would be found in 45 gulab jamuns, each shaped like a cylinder with the 2 hemispherical ends with length 5 cm and diameter 2.8 cm. Shape of the gulab jamun is a cylinder with 2 hemispherical ends on either side, and total length of the gulab jamun is 5 cm, and total diameter of the gulab jamun is 2.8 cm. And thing is, we need to find out approximately how much syrup would be found in 45 gulab jamuns, but he gives on information 30% of its volume. So find out the volume of each gulab jamun, multiply by it 45, that gives volume of 45 gulab jamuns, and quantity of syrup present in that gulab jamun is 30% into the volume of 45 gulab jamuns. That gives you the volume of the syrup. So let's solve in the board. So here you can see the shape also. This is a gulab jamun shape which is given, which can be divided into a cylindrical portion and 2 hemispherical ends. The total length is 5 cm and the diameter is 2.8 centimeter. If diameter is 2.8, the radius of the cylinder as well as hemisphere is half of 2.8, which is 1.4 centimeter. And here this is 1.4 and this is also 1.4. So height of the cylinder you can calculate by subtracting 1.4 and 1.4 in 5 centimeter. That is height of the cylindrical portion. This can be 5 centimeter minus 1.4 minus 1.4. Okay, that you get 2.2 centimeter. So height from here to here it is 2.2 centimeter. So for cylinder, radius is 1.4 centimeter, that is d by 2, and height is 2.2 centimeter. This one. For hemisphere only we require radius, which is 1.4 centimeter. So I hope you are able to understand how to split the given shape of a gulab jamun into proper cylindrical and hemispherical shapes. And you need to note down for cylinder, for hemisphere, what are the dimensions that you arrive at after calculating. For all these things, diagrams play a very important role, and without diagram there is no point in solving such numericals at all. Many times the diagrams speak a lot. In the diagrams, if you mention and all the details, no need to write separately these things. Directly you can substitute the values in formula and start solving it. But for which your diagram needs to be very pakka. It should be big enough to show that and dark enough to show all the dimensions at all. Now, volume of gulab jamun is given by volume of the cylindrical portion plus 2 times the volume of hemispheres. So what is the volume of the cylinder? Pi r square h, that is base area into height, and volume of the hemisphere is 2 by 3 pi r cube. There are 2 hemispheres, 2 into 2 by 3 pi r cube. Substitute the values. 22 by 7, radius is 1.4 centimeter, 1.4 into 1.4 into height is 2.2 plus 2 into 2, 4 by 3, 22 by 7 into r cube, 1.4 into 1.4 into 1.4. Here what I have done here is this particular part. If you look at this particular part, 22 by 7 into 1.4 into 1.4, that product I have taken out. The remaining is 2.2 here and the remaining 4 by 3 into 1.4 this side. So 43.12 by 7, this will give you 6.6 after taking LCM, 6.6 plus 5.6 by 3. So once again 43.12 by 7, and this if you add 12.2 by 3. Now all this is basically the calculations. So volume of one gulab jamun is about 25.05 cubic centimeter approximately. Here you got it. This is approximately 25.05 cubic centimeter. Volume of the syrup is equal to 30% of 45 number of gulab jamuns. So see here what I am considering here, volume of gulab jamun is 25.05, but I am considering 25 cubic centimeter as the volume approximately. I am avoiding this 0.05 because anyway we have to calculate approximately only. So volume of the syrup is 30% of 45 gulab jamun. So 45 into volume of each gulab jamun. 30% of 45 gulab jamuns into volume of each gulab jamun. 30% means 30 by 100 into 45 number into volume of each gulab jamun. I am taking 25 cubic centimeter. Here instead of 25.05 I am taking only 25. So here 25 ones are 25 fours are 2 2s are 2 15s are 15 into 45 by 2, which is 675 by 2. That gives me 337.5 cubic centimeter approximately. You can stop the answer at this stage also. 337.5 cubic centimeter. If I need to round it off, then 338 cubic centimeter is the approximate value of the syrup, volume of the syrup that is present in 45 gulab jamuns, isn't it? So make a note of this one. Question number 4. A pen stand made of wood is in the shape of a cuboid with 4 conical depressions to hold pens. So let us have a look at this pen stand. This is how the pen stand looks like. There are 4 conical depressions in a cuboidal wood, and this is to hold the pens like this. We can keep the pens like this. The dimensions of the cuboid are 15 by 10 by 3.5 centimeter. LBH is given. The radius of each of the depressions is 0.5 centimeter. The radius of the cone, base of the cone is 0.2 5 centimeter, and its depth is 1.4 centimeter, height is 1.4 centimeter. Find the volume of the wood in the entire stand. Volume of the wood in the entire stand is equal to volume of the cuboid minus 4 times the volume of the cone. That is the answer. So let us see how to solve this on the board. Here you can see the diagram. This is a wooden stand with 4 conical depressions. For cuboid, LBH is 15 centimeter into 10 centimeter into 3.5. For conical portion, radius is 0.5 centimeter, height is 1.4 centimeter, which is given. Those values have been populated at the bottom. Now, volume of the cuboid is equal to L into B into H, which we get 525 cubic centimeter. What about volume of the cone? 1/3 pi r square H. 1/3 into 22/7. Radius is 0.5 into 0.5 radius square into height is 1.4 centimeter. 7 ones are 7.2s are. So 22 into 0.5 into 0.5 into 0.2 divided by 3 is what we are left with. That is nothing but here this into 0.2 gives me 0.05. So 22 into 0.05 by 3, which is 1.1 by 3, this is 0.366. So I am rounding it off to volume of the cone as 0.37 cubic centimeter. But this is the volume of one cone. What we require is volume of 4 cones. You can directly work out here also volume of 4 cones is equal to 4 into 0.37 cubic centimeter. But anyway, I am taking in the formula this 4 here. Volume of the wood is equal to volume of the cuboid minus 4 times volume of the cone, which you have calculated over here. So 525 is the volume of the cuboid from 1 there, you can say, you can tag it also, minus 4 times 0.37. If you work out, it is approximately 523.52 cubic centimeter is the volume of the wood for this conical stand, isn't it? So make a note of this one. Question number 5. A vessel is in the form of an inverted cone. Its height is 8 centimeter and radius of its top and 8 centimeter, and the radius of its top, which is open, it is 5 centimeter. So for a cone, height is known to us, radius is known to us. It is filled with water up to brim. Water up to brim means till it is completely filled. It is filled up to the edge of the top of the cone. When lead shots, each of which is a sphere of radius 0.5 centimeter, are dropped into the vessel, 1/4 of the water flows out. Find the number of lead shots dropped in the vessel. Lead shots means, metal balls, lead balls basically, of radius 0.5 centimeter. So let me explain this on the board here. So this is a conical vessel into which water is filled up to the brim, means up to the edge. In this, certain number of lead shots are filled into. How many numbers? Let n be the number of lead shots that can be filled into. The radius of each lead shot is 0.5 centimeter. And with respect to cone, radius is 5 centimeter and height is 8 centimeter. When it is filled up with water and when the lead shots are dropped into this one, n numbers, say n numbers, then the water that flows out will be 1/4 of the volume of the cone. That means the lead shots will displace the water equivalent to their volumes, and the volume collected is 1/4 the volume of the cone. That means water flown out due to when we pour the lead shots into this vessel, water will be displaced, and the volume of the water displaced is equal to 1/4 the volume of the cone. That means the volume of the water that we collect must be equal to n number of volume of lead shots, isn't it? So what we'll do now, volume of each lead shot is, it is spherical in shape, 4/3 pi r cube, 4/3 22/7, r is 0.5 centimeter, 0.5 into 0.5 into 0.5 cubic centimeter. Leave it as it is. Number of lead shots be n that we are going to pour into the vessel. Volume of the cone, it is 1/3 pi r square h, 1/3 22/7 into radius of the cone is 5. So 5 square, r square is 5 into 5, height is 8 centimeter into 8 centimeter. Now volume of the water flown. How do you calculate the volume of the water flown? Information given is volume of the water flown is equal to 1/4 the volume of the cone here. 1/4, this is the volume of the cone here. 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 5 into 5, 25 into 8. So 1/4, this is volume of the cone here. 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 25 into 8. So this is the volume of the water flown. Now volume of the water flown should be equal to number of lead shots into volume of each lead shot. N be the number of lead shots, and therefore by transposing number of lead shots is equal to N equals volume of the water flown divided by volume of the lead shot. So water flown divided by volume of the lead shot. Substitute the volume of water flown. N equals, this is the volume of the water flown. Here it is written, this I have written here, divided by volume of lead shot. Volume of lead shot is this entire part, which is written here, that 0.5 to 0.5 to 0.5 is taken to be 0.125. So 22 by 7 and 22 by 7 cancels. 4 ones are 4 twos are 8 here. So remaining this 3 I am taking up, this 3 comes down. So this is 3 into 25 into 2 by 4 into 3 into 0.125. That's what it is coming. So N equals, if you work out, ultimately we are getting 100 numbers of lead shots. Meaning, if we drop 100 numbers of the lead shots of each 0.5 centimeter radius, then the volume displaced will be equal to 1/4 the volume of the cone. Here most important part here is the volume of the lead shot is equal to volume of the water that is collected. Basically volume of the lead shots, total number of volume of the lead shots is equal to the volume of the water collected. Okay, so that is how we have worked out. Make a note of this one. Question number 6. A solid iron pole consists of a cylinder of height 220 centimeter and base diameter 24 centimeter, which is surmounted by another cylinder of height 60 centimeter and radius 8 centimeter. That means that a solid iron pole has two cylindrical parts. One is the bottom cylinder and surmounted by another cylinder, which is the top cylinder or cylindrical part, you can say. Find the mass of the pole given that 1 cubic centimeter of iron has approximately 8 grams of mass. Use pi equals 3.14. Important, this information is to be populated, and this information also is also important. That is, here what is this 1 cubic centimeter of iron has approximately 8 gram mass. The meaning, the density is given. What is the density? Mass divided by volume. So 8 gram mass, and therefore density of the iron is, mass is 8 grams divided by 1 cubic centimeter volume gives you 8 grams per cubic centimeter. So you know the density over here. If we calculate the volume of this iron pole, solid iron pole, then mass is equal, density is equal to mass per unit, mass divided by volume. Volume of the iron pole we will be calculating, and mass of the iron pole should be density multiplied by volume of the iron pole. So let us solve this on the board. Yeah, here the diagram is like this. A solid iron pole, the bottom cylindrical part, which is surmounted by another top cylindrical part. The diameter of the base diameter of this bottom cylindrical part is given as 24 centimeter, and therefore radius is 12 centimeter, which is here. Height is given 220 centimeter for the bottom cylindrical part. For the top cylindrical part, radius is given as 8 centimeter and height as 60 centimeter. So for bottom cylindrical portion and top cylindrical portion, these are the values which have been populated. R1 is 12 centimeter, H1 is 220 centimeter, R2 is 8 centimeter and H2 is 60 centimeter. Important information given that pi should be, the value of pi used to be is 3.14, not 22 by 7. So unless otherwise specified, you have to take 22 by 7, but here it is specifically given to you that it should be 3.14. We should not forget such things. Next, also it is given 1 cubic centimeter of iron's mass is 8 gram. Therefore, the density is mass by volume 8 divided by 1, which is nothing but 8 grams per cubic centimeter. Now, volume of the iron pole, which is volume of bottom cylindrical part plus volume of top cylindrical part. Volume of bottom cylindrical part is pi r1 square h1 plus pi r2 square h2 is volume of top cylindrical part. So just to substitute the values here, this is pi is 3.14, r1 h1 r1 square h1 square values have been populated here, 12 into 12 into 220, and here pi is 3.14, r2 is 8 basically, so 8 into 8 into 60 is the height here. Take 3.14 common, then it is the multiplication over here. This 12 into 12 144 into 220, this is 64 into 60, whereas 3.14 is taken common. So 3.14, this you multiply to get 31680, 3840, and finally 3.14 into this value, which gives you 1,11,532.8 cubic centimeters as the volume. I think this is clear up till this now. Now, density is mass of the iron pole divided by volume of iron pole. Is it not? If I ask you to calculate what is the density of this one, then definitely the formula for density is mass of the iron pole divided by its total volume. That gives you the density. So, mass of the iron pole is equal to transpose this one, density into volume of the iron pole. Transpose this. So, mass of iron pole is density into volume of iron pole. Iron pole volume already calculated over here. That we are going to substitute in this. So, density is given as 8 grams per cubic centimeter into whatever this value, 1,11,532.8 cubic centimeter. So, cubic centimeter cancels. Remaining units of measurement is grams basically. So, after multiplication you get 8,92,262.4 grams. It is quite a big number, and we can go for the kilogram here. Divide this grams by 1000 to get kilograms, units of measurement as kilograms. So after dividing, we get 892.26 kilograms. So what is the mass of this iron pole now? The mass of iron pole is 892.26 kilograms. I hope you have understood. Here you can use the unitary method also. See here, those who are not familiar with all these terms, density is equal to mass per unit volume or mass of the iron pole divided by volume of the iron pole. If you are not familiar with this, then you can use, here unitary method for this one. What is that unitary method? Here cubic centimeter or volume, you can say volume and mass. Volume which is in cubic centimeter and mass in gram. So 1 cubic centimeter, mass of 1 cubic centimeter is 8 grams. 8 grams. So volume is given here as 111,532.8 cubic centimeter, weighs x grams. Cross multiply then. You can cross multiply. That means x into 1 equals 8 into 111,532.8. So x is equal to, you get the same value over here, which is in grams, then divide it by 1000 to get in terms of kilograms. So make a note of this sum. Next question, 7th one. Question number 7. A solid consisting of a right circular cone of height 120 centimeter and radius 60 centimeter standing on a hemisphere of radius 60 centimeter is placed upright in a right circular cylinder full of water such that it touches the bottom. Find the volume of water left in the cylinder if the radius of the cylinder is 60 centimeter and its height is 180 centimeter. All the information over here it is given, no need to calculate any information. So if we draw the diagram correctly and populate the values, this sum becomes simple. Okay, so let us solve this on the board. So this is how the diagram looks here. There is a solid which consists of a cone mounted on the hemisphere. So this is a solid. This solid is immersed into a cylinder. What is the question asked here is, what is the water left in this cylinder? You got it? That is the question. First, let us see the values of or the dimensions of the solid and the dimension of the cylinder. Clearly it is given, height of the cone is 120 centimeter and radius is 60 centimeter. Similarly, for this base, the hemispherical base, the radius of the cone is equal to radius of the hemisphere. So from here to here, this is radius. Also from here to here, the radius, which is 60 centimeter. So if I calculate from here to the bottom, it is h1 plus 60 or 120 plus 60, which is given here, 120 plus 60, 180. Also it is given that height of the cylinder is 180 centimeter, meaning this entire solid touches at the bottom. The total height of the solid matches with the height of the cylinder. That you should keep it in mind. Okay, so all these dimensions have been given. For cone, r equals 60 centimeter. Here the radius is same for cylinder, for cone, that is the base radius, and for hemisphere, that is the base radius. All these are same here. So let us populate the values. For cone, r equals 60 centimeter and h1 is 120 centimeter. For hemisphere, radius is 60 centimeter. For cylinder, r equals 60 centimeter and height h2. In order to differentiate between height of cone and cylinder, I am taking h1 as height of the cone and h2 as height of the cylinder. So h1 is 120, h2 is 180 centimeter. Now, as I said, how do you calculate the volume of the water left inside the cylinder? Volume of the cylinder minus volume of the solid gives you the volume of the water that is left inside the cylinder. So let us find out first the volume of solid. The solid consists of cone plus hemisphere. Conical part plus hemispherical part, but directly I can write cone also and hemisphere also. So volume of the solid is volume of the cone plus volume of hemisphere. Volume of cone is 1/3 pi r square h1 plus volume of hemisphere is 2/3 pi r cube. Substitute the values here. 1/3 into pi I am taking as 22/7. R square, r is 60, 60 into 60. H1 is for cone, which is 120 centimeter height. For hemisphere, 2/3 into 22/7. R cube is 60 into 60 into 60. In both the cases, here 3 ones are 3 20s are, and here also 3 ones are 3 20s are, 60, that cancels. Now what I can do here is something like this. See, this 22/7, which is common here also and here also, and this 20 and 60, this 20 and 60. These three numbers I am taking out, 22/7 into 20 into 60, which are common. So inside the bracket left is basically this 120, which is there here, and here it is a 2 into 60. This 22/7, 20, 60 has gone out. 2 into 60 is left inside. So 22/7 into 20 into 60, this is 120 plus 120, 240. So 22/7 into, if I multiply these things, I am getting 2,88,000. Now I could have multiplied, I could have finalized here itself the simplified in terms of decimals, but I know that volume of the cylinder, I mean further calculations are involved, and I know that this is basically a pi will be involved in the calculations of volume of cylinder also. And whenever of course there is a subtraction also, that is volume of the cylinder minus volume of the solid. So I am retaining this 22/7 as it is. I am not simplifying over here, because this parameter 22/7 also will be there in calculation of the volume of the cylinder. So next is volume of cylinder. pi r square h2 here. H2 is the total height of the cylinder. 22 by 7 into r is 60 into 60 r square into 180 is the height of the cylinder. That gives me 22 by 7 and 648,000 cubic centimeters. So identify that, tag this as 1, this as 2. We have got volume of the solid. I can write here also volume of solid as 1 and volume of cylinder as 2 there. Now simple, volume of water left in the cylinder is volume of the cylinder minus volume of the solid. Cylinder is 22 by 7, 648,000 cubic centimeter minus volume of the solid is here 22 by 7 into 288,000 cubic centimeter. This is the volume of the solid. So from 1 and 2. Now, as I said, it is better to retain this 22 by 7 in both the cases, because now I can take common 22 by 7 and this minus this 648,000 minus 288,000. That gives me here 22 by 7. If you work out up to 3 decimal places I can consider, or you can consider finally 3.14 also and do it. But as he has not mentioned, I am taking 22 by 7 and finally here I am taking 3.142 as the value of 22 by 7 instead of dividing this number by this 7 and all. What I am doing is I am converting this into a decimal here, considering 3.142, which we know already. So multiply simply this figure, whatever the subtraction we get, that is 3,60,000 by 3.142 to get how much this is. 11,31,120 cubic centimeter. In order to, it's a quite large number, but it needs to be converted into cubic meter. It is cubic centimeter and cubic meter. How do you convert for that one? Divide it by, see, 1 centimeter is 1 by 100 centimeter meter. 1 centimeter is 1 by 100 meter. So cubic centimeter means 100 into 100 into 100. We have to divide by, cubic centimeter means 100 into 100 into 100 in the denominator. So 10 lakh. If you divide this by 10 lakh, you get 1.131 cubic meter approximately. I hope you are able to understand this conversion factor. See here, the conversion factor is, let us see, 1 cubic meter is equal to how many cubic centimeters? How many cubic centimeters? Let us convert. So 1 cubic meter is equal to 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter, which is 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter, which is after 2 zeros, another 2 zeros, cubic centimeter. So 1 cubic meter is so many cubic centimeters. You got it? We know the cubic centimeters over here. Therefore, 1 cubic centimeter is equal to 1 divided by 1, 1 0, 1 0, 1 0. So totally 2 plus 2 plus 4, 6 zeros, cubic meter. So this is what I have done. So I know in cubic centimeter I need to convert cubic centimeter to cubic meter. So multiply this factor or divide it by 10 lakh. Divide it by 10 lakh. So if you divide cubic centimeter by 10 lakh, you get the units of measurement as cubic meter. So that is of course approximately, because some students will take 3.14 for pi value here or 3.142 etc. Okay, I think it's quite clear, but you can definitely retain the answer here itself, so many cubic centimeter, then also it is okay. But being a very large unit, it is preferable to convert it into multiples, that is cubic meters. Okay, so make a note of this one. Question number 8. A spherical glass vessel has a cylindrical neck 8 cm long, 2 cm in diameter. Okay, a spherical glass vessel has a cylindrical neck. So spherical glass vessel means it can be a round bottom flask, round bottom flask you have seen, which has a spherical bottom and cylindrical neck. So basically a spherical glass vessel here refers to a round bottom flask. The diameter of the spherical part is 8.5 centimeter. By measuring the amount of water it holds, a child finds its volume to be 345 cubic centimeter. Check whether she is correct, taking the above as inside measurements, and take pi equals 3.14. So let us solve this on the board. So here question number 8. This is a glass vessel, a spherical bottom, cylindrical neck. All the dimensions have been given to us. Diameter is given as 8.5 centimeter for the spherical bottom. So R1 equals half of this, 8.5 by 2, 4.25 centimeter. And for the cylindrical neck, height is given as 8 centimeter, radius R2 is 2 by 2, 2 centimeter is the diameter, so radius is 1 centimeter. So for sphere, R1 is given, for cylindrical neck, R2 and height. And note that pi equals 3.14 we have to take. So child find its volume to be 345 cubic centimeter. So question is, check whether it is correct or not. So let us, child has found out the volume. How the child has found out the volume? By putting water into that and measuring the volume. But now we have to calculate, and by calculation whether this is correct or not, we'll check it. And therefore let us calculate the volume of the glass vessel here. Volume of the glass vessel is volume of the spherical bottom plus volume of the cylindrical neck. You got it? Volume of the sphere plus volume of the cylindrical neck. Here cylindrical neck it is, okay? This is neck portion and this is the bottom portion. 4 by 3 pi r1 cube plus pi r2 square into h. Substitute the values. Take pi as common here because 3.14 it is given and I can take it common here. So left is 4 by 3 r1 cube. R1 kitna hai? 4.25. 4.25 into 4.25 into 4.25 plus pi has gone out, r2 square into h. R2 is 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into h is 8 centimeter. Correct. Now this is 3.14. This no way we can simplify it. You just multiply all these things and keep it. So here you get 307.0625 by 3, this part, plus 1 into 1 into 8 is 8. Now once again I can take LCM. Next step is LCM. 3.14 into LCM is 3. So this part plus 24. Now this is 3.14 into 331.0625. This is 307 plus 24 gives me 331.0625. The whole divided by 3 will be there. Now I simplified this part here. 3.14 divided by 3 I have taken. Up to 3 decimal places should be quite enough. 1.046 we are getting. That is 3.14 divided by 3 I have done, as it is easier to do compared to this one. And therefore I divided 3.14 by 3 to get 1.046 into 331.0625. That gives me the volume as 346.29 cubic centimeter. So is it correct what the child has measured? Measurement of the child is 345 cubic centimeter, whereas our calculation shows 346.29 cubic centimeter, and therefore my conclusion could be the child is not correct and the correct volume is 346.29 cubic centimeter, isn't it? So make a note of this. So yes students, we have completed exercise number exercise 13.2, exercise number 13.2. There are 8 sums and all these sums we have completed. I had also asked you to solve the example numericals, which are very important. And next section is 13.4 section, exercise 13.3 it is basically, but section wise I am talking about 13.4. That is conversion of solid from one shape to another shape. That is very important, where we may get some numericals based on the flow of water through the pipes, flow of water through the canals, and if the solid is melted from one shape and given a different shape, then what would be the change in volume and all those things we are going to study. Conversion of solid from one shape to another shape, volumetric ratio remains constant, that you have to keep it in mind. So bas ho gaya, exercise 3.2 completed. In my next section, a small introduction will be there for conversion of solid, and then I'll take up the next exercise, that is exercise 13.3. So let's end the lecture over here. Thank you very much for watching.